All right, so let's continue with this data journey with Purview. And today I want us to look at one of the things that I say requested by a bunch of people, which is I have a data set. I want to exclude some tables from being brought into our data estate or our data asset. How can we be able to do that? So here, if I drag my SQL Server environment here, I have AdventureWorks database here. And in this database, I do have a schema that looks at human resources as well as others. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to scan this database here, and I am going to exclude, or I'm going to omit the human resources pieces. So this can be your log files, this can be your system tables, or what have you that you want to go ahead and omit. So I'm going to go ahead to my data map, and I am going to go ahead and create, that's my SQL Server there. I'm going to go ahead and create a new scan. So let's go ahead and do that here real quick. Come on, Purview. All right, so we'll create a new scan, and that's fine. I can use whatever name that I want to use there. And then that's my runtime, and then my database that I'm going to be using is that. Then my credentials, which is my SQL Server environment here. Go ahead and test that to make sure that life is good. Okay, so life is good in that aspect. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then I'm going to create a new scan over here, new scan row. So as you can see, we have all our tables here, and I want to exclude any table that has the schema of human resources. So I do have some here that I should be able to see. For instance, that one there, human resources shift. So those are the tables that should not come. So think of it, yes, you can exclude them from here, but sometimes you have a lot that you need to be able to exclude. So that's what we're going to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and do continue. And I am going to create a new scan row. And my scan row here is, let's say, we're going to call this exclude HR. Yes, because spaces are not so, oh my god, that's not what we meant. So exclude HR schema tables. Okay, schema, that should be good enough. And then we go ahead and do continue. And then here I have already created some sort of a row for my environment. I can still be able to keep this. So even if I have my custom rows as well, I can be able to continue with it. It doesn't have bearing to what we're doing. So this is the key piece here, ignore pattern. So you can either have a pattern that you can ignore, or you can actually ignore files or names. So in my scenario, I am going to put in here human resources. And whatever human resources appears, that's going to be excluded from my scan. All right, so let's go ahead and do OK. And that's the one that we are going to do the scan with. I'm going to go ahead and do the continue. And I'm going to do just a single scan. And we want to run this immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and start my scan here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and pause while this runs, and as soon as it's done, then we'll look at what we get. All right, so our scan now is complete, as you can see, and we ended up with 85 objects and then 84 ingested objects. So let's go see what we actually do have. So I'm gonna actually go to my data catalog, and in my data catalog, I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to browse my collection. Then of course it's my SQL Server on-prem, and here is what has been discovered. So I'm going to change my relevance here to be by name, and then we know that the schema that we did skip was the human resources. So I'm gonna go to the human resources so we can see this is one of my tables, and you can see right here That's the schema, and then that's the table. And you see that the last time that this got scanned was actually 3 days ago. Similar situation with the employees, but if we look at the person and the emails, this was just about 16 minutes ago. So that's when we last did this inventory. So you can see that. So if we look at anything that has human resources schema, that was 3 days ago. So that's one way that you can be able to skip if there's any tables or if there's any objects that you want to skip from your process of scanning, so, or your process of collecting your data estate. So that's all there is. There's not much to that, and I hope that this helps somebody. You want to do a little bit of pre-planning before you go ahead and do this, so that you don't have to include it. But again, you can also remove all the objects from your data estate so that you can begin afresh. All right, looking forward to comments. Let us know if this is helpful. Thank you, and if you have any questions, have a good day.